Breaking news, Lee Min-ho breaks down in tears, finally reveals his secret that no one knows for years. Hold on to your hearts, K-drama fans, because what you're about to witness is no ordinary headline. This is the moment that's shaking the entire Korean entertainment industry to its core. The flawless, unstoppable Lee Min-ho, the king of dramas, the face of a generation, the man millions adore, just broke down in front of the world and finally revealed a secret that he's kept hidden for years. What he said left fans in tears, the internet in flames, and even the media speechless. This isn't just a revelation. This is a turning point in K-drama history. You do not want to miss a single second of this emotional roller coaster. So before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any updates in the world of Korean entertainment. A night that began like any other. Until it didn't. The event was titled A Night with Min-ho. Fans flocked from all over Asia, Japan, the Philippines, Thailand, and Korea's own countryside just to get a glimpse of the man who had given them laughter, love, and the kind of on-screen romance that mends broken hearts. The atmosphere was electric. The sound of cheering fans echoed through the Seoul Arts Center, and lights danced across the ceiling in soft hues of gold and rose. The anticipation was palpable. Everyone expected a charming conversation, a few behind-the-scenes jokes, and maybe, just maybe, a sneak peek into his next project. But no one was ready for what was coming. When Lee Min-ho finally stepped onto the stage, something felt different. Dressed in a white linen suit, open at the collar, his steps were slow, deliberate. His smile was there, that legendary half-smile that launched 1,000 fan pages, but it didn't quite reach his eyes. He sat quietly, thanked the fans for being there, then took a long pause. And then, with a tremble in his voice, he said something no one expected. "I've hidden something for a very long time. I think it's time I told you the truth." The moment the mask fell, gasps rippled through the crowd. Fans exchanged glances, hands instinctively rising to cover mouths. The cameras zoomed in. A close-up of Lee Min-ho's face revealed eyes misted with unshed tears. "I've spent so many years trying to be strong, trying to be what the world expected. But the truth is, I've been broken in ways I never had the courage to admit." And with that, the first tear fell. The silence was suffocating. In a single instant, the image of Lee Min-ho, the flawless star, the untouchable icon, began to unravel, revealing something far more beautiful, his humanity. The secret love that never saw the light. Then came the confession that shattered the hearts of millions. Years ago, during the shooting of Faith and the Heirs, Lee Min-ho had fallen deeply in love. But it wasn't with a co-star or someone from the limelight. It was with someone the world never knew, a quiet, artistic soul who lived far away from the cameras, someone who didn't care about fame, someone who just loved him for who he truly was. She wasn't famous. She wasn't rich. She didn't even know who I was the first time we met, he said, his voice breaking. But she made me feel seen, not as Lee Min-ho the actor, but as Min-ho, the boy who still remembered what it felt like to be small. Their love, however, was doomed from the start. With packed schedules, media attention, and endless travel, the relationship could never thrive under the weight of secrecy. The emotional toll of keeping her hidden from the world, not out of shame, but to protect her from the harshness of the spotlight, began to crush them both. One day, I came home and she was gone. No fights. No goodbye. Just gone. All she left was a note that said, "You belong to the world, but I need someone who belongs only to me." His voice cracked. I cried every night for 6 months. No one knew. No one saw. Because I never let them. The room was filled with the sound of muffled sobs. ANS wept openly, clutching each other's hands, devastated by the weight of his words. A childhood filled with silent struggles. But the revelations didn't stop there. Lee Min-ho then began to speak of a time before the fame, before the glamour, his childhood. He painted a picture of a cramped apartment in Dongjaku, with creaky windows and uneven floors. Of nights when dinner was just rice and soy sauce, and winter mornings when their tiny heater couldn't keep the cold away. Of watching his mother sacrifice everything, every dream, every comfort, just so he could have a shot at a better future. I remember coming home one day and seeing my mom trying to hide her tears as she stitched old clothes to sell at the market. I was 10 years old. That image never left me. He continued, voice barely above a whisper. I promised myself that I'd make it. Not for the fame, but so I could build her a house where she'd never have to cry again. And he did. But at what cost? The truth about fame. In perhaps the most honest moment of the night, Lee Min-ho looked straight into the camera and asked, "Do you know what fame feels like? It feels like being surrounded by millions and still going to bed alone." He confessed that there were moments, even at the peak of his success, when he questioned everything, his happiness, his identity, and the isolation that came with being idolized. People think I have it all. But I've also lost a lot. Friends who used to call stopped calling. People who loved me started loving only what I represented. I started to forget who I was. A life-changing decision. And then came the announcement that stunned everyone. Lee Min-ho would be stepping away from the spotlight. For a year. Possibly longer. I need to heal. I need to live, not just exist. I want to find the pieces of myself I lost along the way. But he wouldn't be disappearing. Instead, he would be dedicating the next year to launching the Miho Foundation for Hope, a charity dedicated to supporting underprivileged children in Korea and beyond, with a focus on emotional healing, education, and self-expression through art. I want to give them what I never had, someone who listens. Someone who believes in them. The world responds. Social media exploded. In mere minutes, hashtags like #RealMinho, #WeLoveYouMinho, and #MinhoIsHuman trended in over 80 countries. Celebrities, news anchors, and fans flooded the internet with tributes. One actress, who had co-starred with him in the past, wrote, "We always saw the star, but today we met the man. And he's even more beautiful." Fans created digital billboards overnight. Letters poured in. Hundreds gathered outside his agency just to leave flowers, candles, and handwritten notes. A goodbye that's not really a goodbye. As the night drew to a close, Lee Min-ho stood once more under the spotlight, no longer a prince in a K-drama, but a man reborn in the eyes of millions. Thank you for loving me. Not just when I was strong, but even now, when I finally showed you that I'm not. He bowed. Deeply. Gratefully. And as he walked off stage, the applause did not stop. It followed him out of the building, into the night, into the hearts of fans who now knew him, not just as their idol, but as their equal. As someone who had suffered, loved, lost, and dared to share it all. And just like that, the image of Lee Min-ho has forever changed. No longer just the elegant prince of dramas, but now a warrior of truth, pain, and raw honesty. His story reminds us that behind every perfect smile is a journey we may never fully understand, until moments like this. He cried not because he was weak, but because he was brave enough to show the world his truth. And now, the world loves him even more. This isn't the end for Lee Min-ho, it's just the beginning of something far more powerful. So if you want to stay updated with every twist, turn, and heart-pounding moment in the world of Korean entertainment, smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications, because we're bringing you everything first, fast, and full of feeling.